take a walk on the woo-woo side with me. My name is Michelle Douglas and I am on a mission to help you to step into your power so that you can create the life you desire. Visit me at empoweredlifeprograms.com to learn more. Hello, Michelle here, and today we're going to be doing an Akashic Records reading on myself. Well, I've already done the reading, and this is my first one actually. So I want to showcase what these readings may look like for you, but this first one is in a different format to the way I do them now, because now I go right into specifics about situations you want to deal with. But I thought I'd share today a little bit about what happens in the reading, and some of this stuff I talk about happens regardless of whether I'm doing it in my old format or my new one. Okay, so first thing I do is access the Akashic Records, and I need your full legal name both now and at birth. I need your date of birth and I need your place of birth, and that just helps me to find you in the records. Once I'm in there, I ask a bunch of questions and I make sure that I've located you and that I've not got you confused with anyone else. I then also make sure that you are what we call make sure you're a soul that is intending to be in alignment with their soul blueprint. There are some souls that are not, and that's not a bad thing. It just means that I can't read for them. And if that happens to be someone like yourself, if you do book a session or one of the programs with me, it will mean that I would have to give you your money back, basically, because if I can't read for you, I can't read for you, and I won't take your money if that's the case. So one of the things I look at first is how you are wired at soul level. And this gives me an idea of situations you thrive in, situations you struggle in, your gifts, your strengths, your qualities, that sort of thing. And it's funny that because I've read for most people in my family now, and having this understanding of how they are all wired has actually helped me so much to interact with them in a way that is in alignment with them. And there might have been traits that some of them had that bothered me before that don't now, because I'm like, why? How can I be bothered by them being who they are? Right. So yeah, it really helps to create a good understanding between people. And this is why the relationship reading I do, which is I do one for couples as well. And when I'm working with a couple that are having issues with each other, a lot of the problem is that they don't understand how each other is wired. And because they might be annoyed by certain quirks their partner has, but if that quirk is who they are at soul level, it's just like they're angry at them because they want them to change an aspect of their core self. And that understanding helps them to pull back on that and to reframe it and look at it quite differently to the way they used to. So there's that as well. Now, some people then we look at the soul group of origination. And this gives us some additional qualities. It's probably not as important as the original wiring that we look at, but this definitely contributes. And I'm looking at my reading here if you see me looking down. I also look at whether someone has a secondary God spark or a candidacy for one. So a secondary God spark is like before you incarnated into this particular lifetime, you had a specific mission in mind, because we're not given missions, we choose our missions. And the mission may require additional power that comes in through either the fourth, fifth, or sixth chakras, or seventh, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh chakras. So if you say, for example, have a secondary God spark at the sixth chakra, it means that you want to come in with some additional intuitive type abilities. Some people who come in with a secondary God spark at the fifth chakra, they want to be better at communication, that sort of thing. So I check for that first. And I will also look at the primary life lesson. And the primary life lesson is normally just one word that I will give you. So for me, it's truth. And I'm thinking it's probably about speaking my truth, which has been something that I struggled with earlier in my life, and I'm a lot better at now. So there's that. Then I have a look and see if there's anything dodgy going on or any blocks or restrictions going on in general. Now, in this particular reading, I actually found 3 vows, one of chastity, one of poverty, and one of silence. It's like, oh my goodness. So what's all that about? So here's the story of my reading. So 3 lifetimes ago, I was incarnated as female, and I caught a dodgy priest doing something wrong and causing harm to another, to a child. You can join the dots on that one. And you swore a vow of silence to the church. And this vow was basically forced on you by a nun who was obviously trying to protect this priest. Later in that life, so I'm not sure where I was when this happened. Like, I get images of a dark alley or something, but I don't know. Maybe it was around the church, like a side alley or something at the church. But later in that life, I was actually forced to join the convent because I was trying to speak out about what I had seen. And I was actually forced to swear a vow of chastity and a vow of poverty from that point. And that probably explains I wouldn't say disdain's probably a strong word, but I don't like religion. I don't agree with it. I don't believe in it. I do believe, obviously, there's higher power and, it's all about love and all that sort of stuff. And there are teachings in the Bible and probably all of the other religious texts that support that. But I just don't believe in organized religion. And I guess this priest dude and his little female friend who forced me to go into the church as to swear my vow of chastity and poverty. It was just one of those things, right? So anyway, so I had this fear of speaking out now, which is, this is how it was playing out a couple of years ago when I did this reading, thanks to that vow of silence and therefore of being seen. So I really struggled with being seen and obviously speaking my truth and telling people what I actually did, because I worked in the finance industry forever, and here I am now talking Akashic Records, and people are like, what? So there was a big block there because of that vow of silence. Now, with the other vows that I swore back then, and I was forced to, it wasn't something I chose to do, and then I lived the rest of my life in the church or in the convent. I've been preventing myself from experiencing life to its full potential. It's like I'm restricting myself in order to stay small. So the chastity in this lifetime is about preventing myself from experiencing the pleasures of life. It's not just about the sexual side of things. And the poverty is about not putting myself out there so that I can finally achieve success. So I was trying to stay so small, and what it was doing was impacting on my ability to get my message out there and to help more people. Thankfully, people have seen through my barriers and have found me, and I've worked with quite a few people all over the world now. But yeah, it caused a lot of trouble until I started working through this. And how many of us are playing small in order to abide with our past life agreements? And this is the message I want to put forward here, is that when you find you are doing things like self-sabotaging or doing something that's out of alignment with what you actually want to achieve, could it be because you've got some past life agreement there that's driving you to do that? And when you work with me, we find out what that is. It's like, why are you holding yourself back? Why are you picking these types of men? Why are you struggling in this life area? I'm like, why does your job suck? All that sort of stuff. So we go into all of that stuff, and we go into the specifics of the issues you're dealing with so that we can get to the bottom of what started the problem, and then we can help you to step out of that. So, how I addressed this one was to basically bite the bullet and just move forward and start putting myself out there. And although I did it in spurts back then, I'm now consistently putting myself out there and expanding my reach as much as I possibly can. So I'll leave you with that one, but I'm looking forward to sharing some additional insight with you from the Akashic Records, because I think it's a really powerful tool to help you to create the life that you want. So again, if you do want any information on my Akashic Records program, just head over to empoweredlifeprograms.com/Akashic. I've got a number of options on that page. There's the single session, which won't give you as much, but it will give you enough to like start making changes in your life starting straight away. The other two programs that I currently have live offer additional coaching as well, because you'll find that as you start to make new choices, stuff happens in your life that you're not sure how to deal with. And the whole idea of that is to have those additional coaching sessions to help you work through those, measure within the Akashic Records whether you've taken an action that's in alignment or not, and then move forward from there. So head over there, and I look forward to working with you.